considered the greatest race car driver in history. His early death left millions heartbroken, but his legacy remains alive to this day. Today, in our episode of The Hero's Journey, we'll tell the victorious story of Ayrton Senna. In the populous city of São Paulo, a boy was born who would one day become a global icon. On March 21, 1960, Ayrton Senna da Silva came into the world, destined to leave an unforgettable mark on Formula One. Son of a wealthy family, Ayrton didn't need to worry about the adversities many faced. Educated in elite schools, Senna was a dedicated student, but his true calling was always the tracks. At 4 years old, a gift from his parents would change his life forever. His first go-kart. It was thanks to this special gift that Senna could let his passion for speed flourish. School could teach him about the world, but it was on the asphalt that he learned more about himself in an enjoyable way. Play quickly turned into something serious. By 13, he was already competing officially. Speed ran in his veins, and the go-kart track became his first stage, where he had fun behind the wheel with a precision that surprised everyone around. From an early age, little Ayrton showed an unusual interest in perfecting every detail, every curve, every lap. He didn't just treat racing as a hobby. He took that activity very seriously and spent hours deeply studying the mechanics, the dynamics of his machine, always in search of his evolution on the track. His dedication and talent did not go unnoticed. In his adolescence, he was already seen as a promise in Brazilian motorsport, but young Senna aspired for more. He dreamed big and could already see himself one day racing on famous tracks in Europe. Although it seemed like a distant dream, he had a strong desire to participate in the prestigious Formula One. And so, with the support of his family and armed with an indomitable will to win, Ayrton was all ready to leave the ordinary world of his childhood in São Paulo to take greater flights. He felt prepared to leave his comfort and face the unknown. After good results on the kart tracks in Brazil, the great opportunity of his life came in 1978, when Senna, at just 18 years old, was invited to compete in the prestigious kart competition in Europe. This was the first major test on foreign soil, and a chance to measure his skills against the best young drivers in the world. Although he didn't win the tournament, his above-average performance did not go unnoticed. Senna returned to Brazil but maintained a strong desire to compete and win internationally. Despite the defeat, that experience was not interpreted as failure. He knew he still had much to improve regarding his skills and knew it would be very important to continue practicing with more talented competitors. His nature was of a person who adopted a posture of demanding a lot from himself, and with ambition pulsing in his heart, Ayrton made a decision that would change his life forever. In 1981, at just 21 years old, he moved to England to compete in the Formula 4 Championship, which would eventually be a pathway to Formula One. As expected, that international experience became a huge challenge. Living far from his family and friends, in a completely new and competitive environment, Senna faced obstacles that would test his resilience and determination. But he was not there just to participate. He had a clear goal to conquer. In just a few years, Ayrton climbed his pace in the races and stood out in the competitions he participated in. He became a dominant driver in Formula Ford and later in Formula 3. Ayrton quickly ranked at the top of the overall standings and caught the attention of the big names in Formula One. His success on the tracks proved that he was ready for the next level. Entering Formula One in 1984 at just 24 years old, Ayrton Senna was not just another rookie on the grid. He brought with him a fierce determination and unmatched skill under adverse conditions. However, the challenges would be huge and the competition very fierce, testing the emotional intelligence of the young Brazilian. Senna started his Formula One career with the Toleman team, a small team with great limitations. And even so, he managed to demonstrate his value on the wet streets of Monaco. He showed the world his extraordinary ability by starting in 13th place, and even against all odds, finished second. His near victory on one of the most challenging tracks of the circuit put his name in the history of Formula One once and for all. However, his first year was marked by many difficulties. Technical problems and breakdowns of his car were frequent, but Ayrton, instead of positioning himself as a victim, he took on the posture of a learner. That is, instead of lamenting, he used each obstacle to learn something new. And the following year, in 1985, Senna joined Lotus, where he achieved his first victory at the Portugal GP, and 6 more victories over 3 seasons with the team. However, it was with McLaren, starting in 1988, that Senna would find his greatest rival and one of his greatest allies, Alain Prost. The relationship with Prost was complex, alternating between intense tension and mutual respect. The disputes between them became legendary, raising the sport to new heights of excitement and competition. Together, they dominated the season, with Senna winning 8 victories and his first World Championship. With McLaren, Senna achieved a total of 3 World Championships and 35 victories, marking his era as a golden age. His direct confrontations with Prost, the dramatic breakdowns, and spectacular victories made each race an epic narrative. Ayrton Senna was not just a master at the wheel, he was a combative spirit and had an almost exclusive devotion to motorsport that transformed him into a sports legend. His ability to drive on the edge, especially under adverse conditions, was unparalleled. Rain or shine, Senna found a way to extract the most from himself and his car. His ability to perform perfect qualifying laps, earning the nickname King of Pole Position, only reinforced his reputation as one of the greatest drivers of all time. And off the track, Senna was equally influential. He was known for his intense spirituality and reflection, qualities that deeply connected him with his fans around the world and made him seek to share valuable messages of self-knowledge that could be applied both in life and in sports. His deep commitment to Brazil and his passion for helping others culminated in the creation of the Ayrton Senna Institute, dedicated to the education and social development of Brazilian children and youth. The institute continues to transform lives to this day, perpetuating his legacy of hope and determination. But, like every great hero's journey, Senna's story had a premature and tragic end. On May 1st, 1994, at the Imola circuit, a fatal accident took the life of this hero at a curve that shocked the world. His death not only ended a brilliant era in Formula 1, but also united the motorsport world in mourning and reflection of the safety of the drivers. However, Senna's trajectory, like that of every great hero, does not end with his death. His spirit lives on in the passion of young drivers he inspired, in the positive messages he shared with the world, and in the safety improvements his departure generated, in addition to the continued work of his institute that benefits thousands of young children. Ayrton Senna became a legend that will never be forgotten, a hero whose journey transcends time and continues to inspire generations. So tell us, did you already know the incredible trajectory of Ayrton Senna? If you like the content, leave a like so that this video reaches many people. And if you like inspiring content about the lives of ordinary people who became real-life heroes, subscribe to our channel to receive our next episodes of The Hero's Journey. That's it for today. I'll see you next time.